Okay, so are you ready to kind of like level up your success?
I like it.
Because today we're going to do a deep dive into a book called Your Network, Your Net Worth, and look at how the people around you can really have a huge impact on your own achievements.
I love this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like that old saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Right.
This book kind of takes that idea and runs with it
It does.
and argues that surrounding yourself with successful people can actually increase your own chances of success.
Absolutely. And, the book dives into the kind of the nitty-gritty of why that is.
Okay.
And one of the things it talks about is how when you're around people who are really driven and ambitious, it exposes you to new ideas,
Right.
new opportunities, new ways of thinking.
It's like contagious almost.
It is. It's totally contagious. And it also provides that motivation and that encouragement and that valuable feedback that you need to keep going.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whereas, being around people who are negative or who have more of a limited mindset can hold you back
Right.
and reinforce those kind of self-doubts that we all have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And keep you from really achieving your full potential.
So it's almost like surrounding yourself with people who can like lift you up
Absolutely.
versus surrounding yourself with people who are kind of dragging you down.
Exactly. And, the book talks a lot about choosing your circle wisely.
Yeah.
But what does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah. How do you actually do that? Because that sounds great in theory, but how do we identify those people who are going to kind of lift us up, and how do we make those connections?
Well, one thing is to look for people who are constantly learning and growing and pushing themselves outside of their comfort zone.
Oh, those are the winners that we're looking for.
Exactly. Those are the people who are going to inspire you and challenge your thinking and really help you to level up.
Okay, so it's less about networking for favors and more about surrounding yourself with people who just by being around them elevate you.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. But I think something our listeners might be wondering is like, well, what about the people I'm already surrounded with?
Sure.
Like, what if I already have a network, but how do I know if it's serving me or if it's holding me back?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one of the simplest ways to figure that out is to just pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain people.
Okay.
Do you walk away feeling energized or inspired, or do you walk away feeling drained and deflated?
Interesting.
Are the conversations mostly gossip and complaints, or are they focused on growth and possibilities?
That's a really good point.
So if you're finding that you're constantly feeling drained or that the conversations are not really uplifting, it might be time to reevaluate those relationships.
Okay, so you're saying it's not necessarily about like cutting people off,
Right.
but it's about being more intentional
Exactly.
about who you're spending your time with.
It's about prioritizing those relationships that align with your goals and your values.
Okay, so that makes sense. So it's really just like a gradual shift over time.
Exactly. And it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
Your network should evolve as you do.
So it's not like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
It's like constantly reevaluating.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to kind of like wrap this all up,
Sure.
what would you say is the biggest takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the big takeaway is that your network has a profound impact on your trajectory.
It really does.
And by consciously cultivating a circle of positive and ambitious individuals,
Right.
you're essentially creating an ecosystem that fuels your growth
Yeah.
and helps you to unlock your full potential.
So I guess to leave everyone with like one final thought
Yeah.
to think about is, we talked about that idea of you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yes.
So think about your 5 people. Are they pushing you to be your best self?
I love it.
And if not, what steps can you take starting today
Yes.
to adjust your circle and really like unlock that full potential?
That's a great question to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this deep dive with me today.
It was my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.